Okay, so obviously video is where this began for us, and where it fell apart with that company was that nobody knew how to take advantage of the videos. They didn't know how to use them. We're making all this high quality stuff, and then we ended up, putting banners on the website, and then some vAuto person would come by and take them all down in the middle of the night. So the transition was, and Ryan, we had talked about this when I first started it, we transitioned to making Facebook ads instead. And the thought was that if I sold you the ads, you would introduce me to your Facebook agency. And once they saw what we were making, they would want to white label it and buy it. And when we got out into the industry, we realized that there was this massive vacuum between what we knew the platform could do and the right way to use it, like for e-commerce brands, apparel brands. My brother and I built the That's What She Said brand purely with Facebook ads in the beginning. So we started going to these conferences and learning about the tools, and come to find out almost every other ad agency in the space, and the bigger they are, the more true this is, they just use Facebook the way you would use OTT ads or radio. They just take $3,000 an ad. Most of the time the ad is made for TV, and they just and blast it. And they're not using the targeting tools. They're not using the inventory. So when we first started secret shopping all the other agencies, there was basically three main areas of opportunity that we wanted to take advantage of. And by the way, these backgrounds that you see are they're AI art. So like these aren't real. Like we just had a computer make these for us, which is kind of fun. So the three main things that we saw weren't being done that are standard operating procedure for other agencies. First of all, they weren't merchandising their inventory segments properly. So what I mean by that is when you see ads like this on Facebook, what you're seeing is generally a brand trying to figure out which of their inventory segments you're interested in. So you see this one is hats. This one in the middle had like backpacks and coloring books, and they're trying to figure out, that's from Walmart, what you're likely to buy. Actually, we got to put that Walmart graphic back in there. But see this one on the right where it's about paint? Mm-hmm. So Home Depot then figured out, okay, this guy wants to buy paint, right? So now I'm no longer getting ad sets full of products. I'm getting ad sets full of only paint products. You still with me?
Yeah.
So this would be SUVs or, the Silverado or whatever it may be, all individual segments. But if you look at the top, the copy, even though they know I'm on paint, still just says stock back up on the products you need. It didn't say paint yourself into a corner this weekend with these great deals or something like that, right? So even though the algorithm is putting you on a product the way the salesperson would and showing you more of that product, due to lazy ad design, the ad itself is not putting you on a product and selling you a product. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So we have this same problem in automotive where you'll see a lot of these sort of generic inventory ads that just say something like save on our new selection of 500 vehicles and 50 pre-owned vehicles. And it'll just say that all month. And it doesn't really matter what ad they're on. In the middle one here, you see now is the perfect time to upgrade. Browse our selection of pre-owned SUVs. Well, that's a hatchback Golf. That's not even an SUV. And it's a new one. You know what I mean? So this is one of the major areas where automotive people had failed is they aren't merchandising individual inventory segments. Everything is just all the inventory all the time, all at once. And they aren't merchandising those individual segments with copy specific to those segments to help introduce it and put it in the most positive light. So similar to that, you can see that there's a way to pick up an in-market tag, and people aren't aware of this. So you see here that this is showing me a hoodie, a shoes, a bag, but the shoes are $170 shoes. So I actually clicked on those shoes, and then within a half hour, I started getting ads like this from totally different companies selling $200 plus shoes. So this same exact thing works on Facebook for automotive. If your customers are shopping your competitors' cars, we then can be triggered to go show up and show them our cars, which is pretty amazing if you think about what that implies, right? So all these dealers spend money to try to find out who's in market when Facebook already knows, and you don't have to pay anything for it. All these people are focused on Oracle or third-party data. You don't need it. All you need to do is have engaging inventory-specific ads. If I give you an ad of all my cars, I can't tell you where it's going to go. But if I give you an ad of a pre-owned Honda Civic that just got in stock 3 days ago, Facebook will go show that to people looking for Honda Civics. So when we talk about these segments, on the right here, you see we can go by availability. We've run ads that say these vehicles aren't here yet. but will be this week. Be the first one to pre-reserve them, right? So we can actually segment your vehicles based on their availability status, their body style, their condition. You could say these vehicles are a little beat up. We're ready to make a deal. And it'd be the 7 cars that you have as good condition instead of great or whatever, right? You can go by interior, color, price, model, make, transmission. We've done ads that say from a dude who's like, hey man, I drive a manual transmission to work every single day. I wouldn't drive a car that wasn't. And so check out the manuals that we have in stock. And then below that ad is all vehicles from your inventory that are manual transmissions. So there's sort of an endless amount of detail that we can pour into individual inventory segments based on what's in stock and also what we want to sell and also what we have content for that'll make it an intriguing funnel. So that's the first thing. They don't merchandise the inventory segments. They don't separate them well, and they don't merchandise them well. The second thing is they don't build video audiences. So if you play an ad to me, I don't have to click on the ad. And most of the time, people don't. So with current ad metrics, you either click or don't click, but there's no zone in the middle. So if I show you an ad, I can then put you into a different audience based on if you viewed 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 25%, 75%. So I can use your watching of my ad as an engagement metric on your interest. Are they a little bit more interested than a no? So the common people are running ads like this, where your options are either no, I don't want it, or yes, I clicked, and that means I do want it. When in reality, it should look more like this, where you've got the people who weren't interested, the people who were, but in the car business, our job is to turn maybes into yeses. If all the people who are yeses are already in the finance office and all the people who are no's are already back in their car. So what we want to do is process the people that show us some level of interest or a high level of interest, but didn't click. So when you use videos, one of the reasons we use videos is it allowed you to build video audiences of maybes, basically, or not yets. So this allows us to say, if we play an ad to 200,000 people, we can walk away with an audience of 20,000 engaged prospects that may not be ready to buy a car this week, but for some odd reason, watch 75% of our original ad. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So most of what we're doing that makes what we do work is we're able to build first-party audience by going out, showing a blanket ad like you run on the radio or run on the TV to everybody, and anyone who's more interested than they should be gets pulled into a second funnel that's now a model-specific funnel. We know what they're looking at, and we can kind of talk to them as if they clicked and hope so. And so it allows us to actually build sales offline and not just remarket everybody from your website the way a lot of these other agencies do. So
am I hearing you right? The first video is a generic type branded dealership video before you get vehicle specific?
Yeah, well, they're vehicle specific
Okay.
most of the time, not always. And I'll have a ton of examples. I'll show you exactly like what one would look like. And they're fully customizable, so they're not generic at all, but they're mainly more like a regular auto ad. You're going to see a specials payment. You're going to see rolling footage, stuff like that. And what we're really wanting to know is, why didn't you click? I mean, if I'm not in the market for a car and you show me a Silverado ad, I'm not going to watch 20 seconds of it before I bounce, right? So anyone that did, they're worth talking to 2 more times. So what that allows us to do, which is also the third thing that other agencies weren't doing, is they're not building conversion funnels. So if all of your ads go out to one audience and that's your cold audience, and that's pretty much all most agencies have is their cold audience, then that's kind of where the story ends. What we're able to do is take those 20,000 people, which is why that block has been turned sideways here, the warm audience, and say, hey, these people are interested. They're engaging with our ads. Also, everyone from your website is also going to be moved into that warm funnel so that they're there with, we know what vehicles both these parties are on. And now we're trying to engage them on those models. So we have specific funnels set up for each model. Silverado, if somebody comes to your website and clicks on a Silverado, we'll never approach them as a Chevy store again. Everything we do will be the Silverado expert, the Silverado super center, right? So once we know what car they're on, all of our ads flip to being just focused on that car. All of the testimonials, all the statements of value, all the offers, they're all going to be model specific. So one of the things that allows you to do is now you have a warm audience. And if somebody engages on some of the ads from the warm audience, then we can consider them hot audience. And so now if I start playing lead ads or message ads, I'm going to play it only to the people who have already landed on a car, that have already shown interest at multiple stages. and just follow me here. If I try to go out and get leads on social media and I play that lead ad to a cold audience, you're going to make hundreds of leads for $5 and 90% of them will be garbage, right? So it's not necessarily bad advertising, but you'll burn your BDC up. They don't like calling a bunch of accident leads. So by using this funnel system, we can get awareness at the top level, engagement at the middle level, and not ever come around and say, hey, how about you do some business with us this weekend until we get down to the bottom level. And that way, when we do create a message and we do create a lead, even if the person sent it in on accident, we still want to call them because they're on one of our cars and they're showing interest, right? So, and that's a huge change because a lot of people, if they don't have unique content, video content, and they can't manage these soft views as conversions, then they really can't do lead ads because they have to offer that lead ad to everybody equally, not just the people who are on a car and who are interested. So these ads here, the important thing to understand, the reason that we need to have that conversion funnel set aside is one of the things people don't realize is with Facebook, there's like an unlimited amount of stuff I can do. So I can make messages. I can make XML website leads, just like your website leads that come right to your CRM. I can have people schedule a time to come drive a car using an appointment scheduling app. I can make somebody download an app like for service. I can have somebody call. So we can pretty much take any call to action or conversion method that you'd like. I got dealers that have big BDCs. They just want a ton of leads. That's all they want. Just keep these people busy. Other people are like, look, I don't have much of a BDC, so let's only focus on high funnel leads and clicks, right? So because of that, you can tailor, we don't have a program that we run for everybody. What we run is what they ask for. And this is where a lot of the agencies fall apart is they don't have custom tools. They just sort of have like a thing they do, and that's the thing they do. So when we're building these ads, we're combining an audience. And again, we can take an audience from an upcoming service list, people who are about to have service coming, from a customer loyalty list, from people who just purchased, to people on your website. I've had people who are doing direct mailers, and they'll give me the list of everyone who's getting a direct mailer, and we'll hit them with a digital ad while they're getting that thing in their mailbox. So you can feed me almost any audience type you have and turn them into a Facebook audience. And then we can convert that with any type of conversion goal you'd have, whether that's a drive event or an app download or just more clicks or leads or whatever you want. So the glue that stitches an audience with a conversion method is always going to be an actual video, right? Like the video or the ad itself is supposed to, like a good salesman, it's supposed to reference the audience and end with the call to action. So we can make more particular ads like this one here. So that ad would normally come with a voiceover where we would be giving people instruction. But the reason I put it in here is if you notice what that ad actually did was build a test drive event. So it wasn't like looking for clicks and there wasn't any inventory. Its job was just to get people to register to come drive this ID4 on Tuesday, right? And other ads would look something like this.
Hey, it's Tommy DePisa from Coastal Nissan in Norwell, Massachusetts. I've been with the dealership 15 years. I live locally right here in the South Shore. This is a 2020.
Hi, folks.
Played the wrong one there. This one.
Hi, folks. Steve Delaney here at Coastal Nissan. If you're interested in a new or pre-owned vehicle, we want to assist you the best way that we can. One thing that a lot of dealers do is ask you to set an appointment. Here's what that means when you set an appointment here at Coastal. We can get a lot of legwork done prior to you arriving here, have a better understanding of what your needs are, and generally anticipate your expectations when you arrive. Ultimately,
I won't make you listen to the whole thing, but that ad lives at stage 3. So once you're on a car, once you've engaged with some of the other content types I'll show you here in a second, then Steve shows up and goes, come on, man, let's do business. Here's why you should set an appointment. And he's got like 4 or 5 versions of those ads. One, he tells them to buy from home. One, he says, set the appointment. One, he says, don't wait till the weekend. You get the idea, right? You guys still there?
Yeah, got you.
Okay. I'm paranoid now because I did a half hour on my own the other day. Nobody was there. So, and again, it's not just video ads, and it's not just that I'm video obsessed. We have stupid ads, like we've remade the old, you see the top right, we remade the old Street Fighter ad where he actually has a rag in his hand and he's just cleaning the car instead of destroying it. and that ad performs amazingly well. And so one of the things you need to succeed is ads of all the different types. So you'll notice some of our ads are square, some of them are tall, some of them are wide. And the reason for that is they all go in different platforms. It's because Facebook is not one ad serving platform, right? You have Facebook stories, you have Facebook news feed, you have within other apps, you have Instagram stories, so you need to have the right ad. You can't take a widescreen TV ad and force it onto Instagram stories, one of our best converting placements, right? So we don't just rely on videos. We rely on videos at the front of the funnel to build audiences, but we rely on multiple types of media once you start getting into the funnel, so that we always can chase you from app to app, device to device, section of Facebook to the other section of Facebook. And basically, no matter where you go, we're going to have an ad optimized to talk to you there on that platform, that device. So, I always say you need that type of ad diversity in order to be able to succeed. So people say, hey, but why do I even need to be on social? Like, if you're not convinced that social media advertising is even where you need to be, I can convince you content is needed to be there, but a lot of people aren't convinced they even need to be there. So let me play devil's advocate here and try to be an attorney for why social media is better. I'll give you guys a little example. So you have your offline traditional ads, so billboard, magazine, newspaper, direct mail. And the main problem with those are they don't give you trackable clicks. So it's really tough to know if what you're doing is working. You don't get video views, so you don't get that branding impression. And most importantly, you don't get to build a video audience, and you don't get audio impressions. So this is where you would normally brand yourself with like a, hey, family owned, hey, been here 20 years, whatever. You're not getting that stuff. Most of the time, the copy or the space in those type of publications is dedicated to an offer and not necessarily to branding the dealership. So obviously, if you find good ROI with traditional, roll with it, but it wouldn't be the first dollar I'd spend in my ad budget. Radio, obviously, you get the strong branding impression, but you don't get any video views, you don't get the build audience, and you don't get anything trackable. So if I'm in my truck and you play an ad to upgrade my truck and I turn to my wife and I say, man, we got to do that, you don't even know that I said that. You have no way of following up with the interest that you produced, right? Mm-hmm. So a flaw in the radio game. On the SEM side, you get massively trackable clicks, but a lot of times they're not VIN-specific clicks because it'll just drop you off on a page to the website. And not only that, they're very expensive. 58% is for display, but obviously you guys know search can get as high as $3, $4, $5 just to meet somebody, not to sell them a car. So again, doesn't get the video views and it doesn't get any audio impressions. So you don't get to build any more audience. You don't get them to land on a specific car, and you don't get to brand yourself with SEM. Most of our dealers now, through comparisons, have all but ditched their entire SEM spend in favor of going out and building new branding and new audiences. So TV, and I'm rolling OTT into TV here. Obviously, you do get the video views. A lot of these situations, though, you don't get to build video audiences. You don't get the audio impressions because, again, you only got 30 seconds. And most of the time that's dedicated to the offer and not the branding of the dealership itself. And then in terms of trackable clicks with some of these new OTT platforms, you can get some tracking out of the ad, but you're normally not going to be inventory specific, and you're not going to be able to track it and A/B test it and play with it the same way you were on social. So these are always the old ones. We've always said, why not get it all? So when we run an ad like this, what we're talking about is actually running, it would look like this. So you have your branding and your offer at the top. You have the video views for the special, and I'll give you an idea what one of these looks like here in a second. Everyone who watches the offer video is also being added to an audience to be talked to later. You also have a voiceover. So the whole time we're saying, hey, here, let me just share with you what one of these kind of looks like here. So it'd be something like this.
Get this lease special now at OKCVW. And when you shop with us, you get the Route 66 Advantage, a 36-month, no-cost maintenance plan that includes everything from complimentary oil changes to car washes.
So we make that for you every month. All your 4 or 5 top major models, you're going to get a tall, wide, and a square specials video. It'll be ready by the 8th. That's what powers the most of our outgoing campaign, right? But when you see that, it has this.
Get this lease special now at OKCVW. And when you shop with us, you get the Route 66 Advantage, a 36-month, no-cost maintenance plan.
So if you're following along, That's an ad for a Taos, but the inventory, basically an SRP page for the Taos, goes everywhere the ad goes. Did you catch that?
Mm-hmm.
So I can scroll through while that ad's on. I can scroll through your available SUVs. I can see pricing. I can see everything. And those generate VIN-specific clicks. So, those are worth, based on what people pay SEM-wise, those are worth a couple bucks a piece. We make them for like 40 to 60 cents. But what's crazy is you're actually getting your branding offer. You're getting your video viewed. You're building the video view audiences. You're hitting them with an audio voiceover, and you're taking a click, a VIN-specific click out of that same ad. So we call this the 3 birds, 1 stone. You're literally getting the 3 best possible results of spending an ad dollar for the same dollar, which is what makes this so fundamentally different. So this is the heart of what we do that makes us work as an ad agency to go find new people for you. And then we'll get into here in a minute the stuff we're doing that's designed to be the remarketing engine that sticks with that audience and helps you convert the web traffic that you already have. So it's kind of in 2 halves. But this type of an ad with the video, the voiceover, and the inventory is the one that we use, that we spend most, like 80% of our ad spend on, because remarketing is very inexpensive. So this is how we go out and generate new audience for yourself. So rather than just paying Google to meet the few people who are already shopping for you, we're going out and finding people before they start looking for a car and making sure that we meet them first and stay with them for a week. So
If they're clicking on Facebook or seeing this ad on Instagram or wherever, where's that conversion happening? Is it taking them to our website, or are they just making a phone call or filling out a form from Facebook?
So it's going to be a little, well, for one, we're going to test it and we're going to figure out what works best in your market or what would work best for your store. So it can be any of those things you mentioned. It may be that we try to have them click on a car and we grab their information, which includes their good cell phone, good email, right there from the ad. It could be that most of the time the answer is if they click on one of those cars, they're going to go to that VDP page on your website.
Okay.
So, and these will break out. So if somebody were to click on this ad, it pops up and you basically have an SRP page. You basically don't need your website because you're creating a website-like experience for them on Facebook, right? Like, I think we all know that people don't come to our website for anything other than to see the cars and how much they are. You know what I'm saying? They're not there scrolling around for, about us videos. So it basically, you can, if that's what you want, like let's say you got a strong BDC and you just want to fill them with leads, you could try to basically set that ad up such that nobody ever even needs to come back to your website. The moment they click a car, you're like, we'll have somebody contact you about this. What's cool is if you grab a lead from Facebook, as you guys probably know, it auto fills the form. So I'm not even asking them to type out their number or whatever. They just have to hit OK to accept that their information is going to be shared with me, which is good and bad because it makes it so easy to send the information. A lot of people will do it on accident, which is why you want to hide that behind a couple of other ads. Does that
make sense? Yeah.
So basically this chart, I have a way to make this video play, but I'm not going to bother with that. But so this chart basically is going to show you guys, this is a sample ad spend of if you spent $3,000, what results you could expect. Okay. So if you spent $3,000 worth of radio with an average national cost of like 14 CPM, you'd get about 214,000 audio impressions, but you would not get any clicks and you would not get any video views or build any video audience. If you use SEM, SEO, you'd have roughly 5,000 trackable clicks, which is pretty dope, but you wouldn't get any audio impressions, so no branding, no video views, so no video audience, and basically you'd get nothing but those clicks. You know what I mean? So you're not advertising, you're not branding, you're just buying the clicks. And we make those clicks by branding and advertising. That's the method we use to get those clicks. So TV, OTT, maybe you'd have an audio impression. Most of the OTT and TV spots I see don't brand the dealership. They just focus on the offer. But you wouldn't get any trackable clicks. And you buy about 92,000 video views.
Hey, Andrew, the OTT is strictly like if you're live streaming like off your iPad, right?
No, it could be like just buying slots on YouTube TV or streaming services or.
Gotcha, more streaming. Okay.
Yeah, mainly. I mean, OTT is a pretty dope platform if you have the right content. But again, all of these agencies just play TV content on social channels and then report back that social doesn't work. And it's like, it's like trying to punt a basketball with a kicker's boot. They're mixing things that don't belong where they are, and so there's no wonder it doesn't work.
Yeah, because I mean, when I see if I'm watching on the iPad or something, to me it just seems like it's just the same commercial I'd see on TV that's getting forced.
Yeah,
really,
and what you're not seeing is all the ads that are trying to serve to you, but would never do it because they're not accepted for that platform. A 30-second widescreen TV commercial literally can't be served in a Instagram stories or any of the top placements because it's not the right size, it's not the right length, it's not the right file size, and it would perform so poorly as an ad that the ad score would drive it right out of being viewed. All right. So even when you see them, you're not even seeing how many you're not seeing, and these ad agencies, they think their only job is to effectively waste, not waste, but that's their intent, but their job in their mind is just to spend your $3,000, right? Not necessarily to itemize it or strategize it, but just be like, yep, it's gone, give me my 20%. Mm-hmm. So this is Coastal Nissan, the dealer that's bringing us to their 20 group. So when they gave us $3,000, Dave, what month is this? Is this last month or is this a rolling average?
Yeah, that's like this whole last year average.
Okay. So this is their average across last year, actually. So they gave us 3,000 instead of getting 214,000 audio impressions. And now, mind you, if you got those on the radio, they're going to be in whatever circle the radio station is, right? So if the radio station is popular at all, it probably broadcasts an hour away from your dealership. So you don't get much control over where those audio impressions serve at. So with these, I can control it. I can put it on this side of town, but not that side of town, outside this circle, inside this circle. But more importantly, for $3,000, they got almost 500,000 branding and audio impressions inside their market, 6,500 trackable clicks, and 400,000 video views. So what that means is that I now have an audience of people I can talk to. I have 6,500 clicks that I can track back to my website that are VIN specific and then remarket to. And 500,000 people heard about my new home delivery program or the fact that dad's been in business for 50 years or whatever I want to say, right? So it literally is all three birds. The reason that the slide says 3 birds, half a stone is that this type of content that I showed you guys is Chevy co-op approvable, right? So in most cases, it's actually using co-op dollars in a co-op approved way because I have their offer, I'm following their rules, but I'm branding myself with the voiceover. So I'm using like co-op money to brand the dealership, to buy trackable clicks, and to build a video views audience that's specific to a model so I can come back later and try to sell them that model. So for me, hands down, like I honestly think if you put somebody in a room who was spending ad dollars and framed it like a debate, I don't think there's anybody out there that can argue any one of these sources is better if you haven't fully maximized what you can do on social, because you're literally getting all three results for the same $1 investment.
What's your demographics on social compared to any of the other mediums?
Well, like TikTok is coming around. TikTok was really young for a while, but now the average person on TikTok's 45 years old. So, that I think has come around. We don't advertise on TikTok very often, but when it comes to Facebook, if I leave them open, it's pretty much the same as what you'd get on TV or something like that. But for the most part, there are a lot of different ways that you can kind of control which demographics you're aiming at. So like if there's a certain vehicle or a certain promotion that's better served with older people, it won't take Facebook long to figure that out, and it will start to tilt towards the people who actually convert on that ad.
So you're creating the ad sets on Facebook based off of your algorithm saying who serves up stuff, but if we had a manifest list, you would create the whole ad group on Facebook who you're targeting, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So like for example, this ID4 campaign that you're showing, we're actually one of the places we get audience from is anyone who looked at an SUV on their website. We also take anyone who's super interested in electric or electric vehicles. We also do a lookalike audience off of all of our ID4s across all of our other campaigns. So, it's like bracketing. It's not perfect, and it's not really about including people. It's more about discluding people who are bad. You know what I mean? You get this wide audience, and instead of talking to all of them, you get rid of that one. You know what I mean? You fold that one in half, and you cut it, and now you have a more narrow band of people who are more interested. It's not about saying everyone in this audience is perfect. It's just about saying I got rid of the 60% that were a waste of ad spend.
Are you exclusive to a dealership or like within X amount of miles? You obviously know our area.
Yeah, no, you guys would be the only Chevy dealer I'd work with up there.
Because we're special?
No, I don't. We know too much to work with two dealers in one market. Like, there's no way for me to ethically behave. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, when you had What's Next, and we still have some of your videos on our YouTube site, is there anything you're doing for product videos that you still throw up there, or are you completely away from that, just doing the targeted ads now?
Well, I do videos like this, and I wouldn't be against busting some stuff like this out for you guys. But so now I do videos that aren't necessarily walkarounds because people know a lot about the car, right? So they're just supposed to be compelling and model specific. So we do a lot of spokesperson ads. They look and feel something like this.
Hey, my wife and I just got a brand new Atlas. I got the metallic gray color with the black shoes that I cared about, and she got the third row seating with the captain's chair so they can go in between that she cared about. My oldest now has switched to the third row. She says that's where she's going to sit forever. So if you want to get the color and trim that you're interested in, we've got great options in stock right now that can be yours. And if you don't see the exact combination that you want, just message us and let us do the work to go find it and get it for you faster than anybody else.
Basically, no, I don't, because that's an ad as well. But we have, we build out these little funnels. So for every model you have, we have an ad kit sitting there. And I'll get into in a second here how we kind of have a whole training program to get you and your staff to help contribute testimonials and statements of value that are model specific. So if I have 6 ads that promote you guys as a Silverado store, I leave them in this bucket. And as soon as I figure out you're on the Silverado, we're just going to start firing everything from that bucket at you. And hopefully blowing your mind that you saw 6 vehicle-specific relevant ads from one dealer. But no, we don't really make any like generic content anymore that's like walk-around based. But I don't think you need it, to be honest. I used to say, and we had this conversation back in the day, that we needed to slow the customers down and get the banners up on your website and all that. You don't need to slow them down anymore. The moment they hit your website, I already got them. Now I get to follow them home. So I don't need to slow them down. You know what I mean? You can catch and release everybody and know you're going to follow them home and continue trying to sell them.
If I heard you correct, because Dan, I've been looking at the websites, basically scrap all the extra junk on the website and just have your call to action on the specific vehicle. Just the less is better.
I mean, look at what's working, but if you can't see in the data that people are enjoying that piece of content, I used to say dealerships had designed their website as an ice luge that shot you out the other side. That's just not bad anymore. As long as you got them to look at the products they wanted before they left, I know where they are. I know what they want to buy. I know where they live. I know if they like soccer. I know if they're in the market or not in the market. You know what I'm saying? So like, I already got the info and they were never going to buy on that one website visit anyways. So what matters now is merchandising our remarketing account, getting me my testimonials I need when you sell a car, stuff like that. And then now I sit in the back and I serve these ads conversationally to somebody rather than hoping that my banner interrupted their thought process while they were on your website.
And you're creating a demographic with the ads on Facebook. So even if they don't know who Bob Josh Chevrolet is and they haven't clicked on anything, if they're an intender, it's going to serve up that ad in front of them without us really having to do any work. Yeah,
so there's 2 ways that'll work. We'll have ads that are specific to Silverado, and if somebody's looking at a truck, they'll pick up an in-market designation from Facebook. I mean, my brother was out at my house a while back, and he had this like ligament mesh surgery. I've never said that word in my life, but he kept talking about it. Then he goes home. I got ligament mesh surgery ads for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Facebook won't give me those tools as an advertiser, but they already have those tools. Like Oracle thinks it has better data than Facebook. That's insane. Oracle's data is 3 weeks old. You know what I mean? So, but what you can't do is think you're smarter than Facebook. If I go in and try to tell it who to talk to, it'll talk to those people. If I just tell it everything I know about the person and really list my products well, which is why we have our own inventory tool, because I pull in everything, mileage, make, model. Facebook knows everything about this car. So literally, if you're searching for we have an auction client, and when he has like a Mopar sale, Like he's the best client we have because he has such specific products. And so we meta tag all these silly ass Mopar parts, and our algorithm will go out into Facebook and find people that buy Mopar crap and put our auction stuff in front of them or whatever his auction is that week. So what matters is really properly tagging your products when we pull them into our product catalog, making specific segments like manual, Silverado, cars under 10,000, stuff like that. And then Facebook will say, here's people who have been out looking at cars under $10,000. So like literally, you don't even have to engage with your competitors. You're always actively pulling in whoever they pay. So like if your competitor pays $4 to land somebody on the Silverado site, then doesn't remarket them, we show up as a result. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, SEM isn't a fee you pay to sell the car. It's a fee you pay to meet that person first. But if you don't, as you guys know from being car guys, you don't want to be the first person a customer meets. You want to be the last.
Correct.
So anyways, yeah, that to your question about the audiences, we will play some ads that are to specific merchandisable categories, and it will go find in-market people for those categories. But we also play these specials ads. I'll give you a little hype here on what the special is. And everywhere these goes, we're building first-party audience for ourselves at the same time. So either we're going to take your in-market tag from an interaction with a competitor, or we're going to create an in-market tag that only we know about by having you interact with one of our ads. So every month you'll get 20, 25 videos from me as ads. And this is a little hype reel we made for like how that works. So that's the product that we make now instead of the walkarounds. And every month you can customize the music, you can customize the call to action, you can customize the voiceover, you can pick from one of 15 different templates that we have, or let us pick for you. We'll track down national lease offers or whatever, so that you don't actually have to submit your specials to us. If you want, you can submit your own custom specials to us, and they'll come out branded that way. So this is really the main product that we use to go out, get eyeballs that are model specific, generate clicks at the same time. That's the bulk of our audience. But to your point, we leave it wide open, and Facebook fills those demographics for us based on people who are interested in that specific product set. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So this is more of that model specials. Like I said, you have all these different styles. Some are topical, like Valentine's Day, holiday seasons. Others are based on like promotions, like that are from the factory that we're keeping up with. You'll also get these title cards like this. A lot of dealers have us make gifts or title cards when we produce their specials, and those are the types of things you can put on your website every month. If you'd like, when we deliver your videos, because you own these, we make them for ourselves, but you own them as well. So you can share them with anybody that would like to use them. So you can also have your web team CC'd on this specials thing, and they can actually put these specials on your website for you. And you'll have video specials on your website before most people have even updated their specials page. So that's a nice trick. So not everybody, obviously the videos that you want to make are all supposed to be staff generated. That's what we really like. So I have, a full-time person on staff that helps run these training groups. And all we're doing is basically focusing on how to make content with a phone. I don't know how well you can see this, but like this is a group on one of our groups. And you can see all day long, they're sending us videos. They're doing testimonials. They're taking ideas off of our syllabus sheet. So the salespeople stay active, feeding us these little videos that we basically have over here. We have a slot for that video. And so we have a doc we share with them and say, these are the videos we need. You get us these, we'll be able to get them in front of the right prospects. Keeping in mind that there's hundreds of people on your website that we know looked at an SUV. So I always tell the sales guys, if I got you their number, would you call them? And they're like, yeah. All 400 of them? Yeah. All right, well, then you should have no problem making me a 20-second video, and I'll go find all 400 of them and show it to them, right? So we host competitions. Anything that they make, they can submit it to this group. It'll either get coached so they can improve on it, or if it's good enough, it'll show up as an ad the next day. So it's a very easy platform for them to get involved, stay busy, and for you to really merchandise each car and have a reason to create testimonials besides just putting them, on your website. So we really focus on this grip, which I don't want to get into it too much, but we focus on a way to hold the phone so that it's like firing a bow and arrow. The phone goes off to your right, not in front of you. And what that means is that when you're creating a video, you actually, anything you point to with your left hand, you'll be pointing to on the camera. And it's an easy way. It's like a steady cam, so that everywhere you go, you're in that right-hand side of the frame, and whatever you talk to over here or whoever you put your arm around is merchandised perfectly in the video. So we focus a lot on how to do the right grip, and then there's a couple of these videos that we teach the staff how to make. We've got templates for how to create their own script and stuff. Some of them are ads, and some of them don't have anything at all to do with ads. We just, it's kind of become one of the more popular parts of our program is that we train people on how to make user-generated content. So this personal introduction is a chance to say, this is who I am. And if you want an experience like I give you, then come see me. So this was, you could say, I listen well, I go the extra mile. So those sound something like this.
Hey, it's Tommy DePisa from Coastal Nissan in Norwell, Massachusetts. I've been with the dealership 15 years. I live locally right here in the South Shore. This is a 2021 Nissan Rogue Sport, Nissan's entry level into the SUV market. It's a dependable, reliable vehicle. So if you're interested in an SUV, please give me a call at the dealership, 781-610-1000. It's Tommy from Coastal Nissan.
So that personal introduction video will sometimes run in what's called a carousel. So you'll get 5 videos in tiles, and there'll be 5 different salespeople introducing themselves. And it allows, it's kind of a fun ad because instead of it being focused on cars, it's focused on what staff can do. And in fact, that wasn't even a personal intro because he mentions the Rogue. So that would have been more of we might need to find another one for that. And so this would be a segment pro. So this is the one we really want to focus on, which is taking all the segments of vehicles you have and having your staff say that they're the expert at that segment, whether that's off-road vehicles, blue cars, all-wheel drives, trucks, hey, you don't want to buy a work truck from someone that doesn't know how it works, come see me. And all the vehicles in this will match the set. So this is what a segment pro ad would look like.
Hey, this is Harry at Coastal Nissan, and I'm the Nissan Rogue Specialist. I know everything there is to know about these vehicles from top to bottom. So don't waste your time on some random car buying experience. Come see me, Harry, at Coastal Nissan in Norwell, and I'll help you find the Rogue of your dreams.
And then here, let me give you a Chevy sample here.
The sunny weather is back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost time for towing season. And at Roy Robinson Chevrolet, we're ready. And I'm ready. You see, there's a lot to know these days with the difference between gas and diesel motors, axle ratios, bumper pulling versus fifth wheel towing, not to mention payloads and capacities. If you're looking for a truck to haul your boat, you don't want to buy it from someone who's never hauled a load before. If you're looking for a truck for work, you don't want to get it from someone who doesn't know how it works. So if you're in the market for something for hauling or towing, come.
Anyways, you get the idea. But we have a whole library that we share with the guys and gals that say, here's scripts. We'll help them create their script. We'll help coach their script. But we also give them a bunch of examples of other people who have performed that type of script so they can kind of get an idea of the boundary limits and how to put their own spin on it without ruining the pacing of it. This is another ad that we do called an appointment confirmation video. This isn't an ad. This is actually just something we train on that shows staff how to go out there and actually create a folder for each guest and really hype up what they're going to do for the guest. So you'll notice as I show you this video, he does not do a walk around on the car. He doesn't talk about how beautiful it is or the colors of the wheels. Everything is actually focused on how to promote and sell an appointment. So this is actually an appointment confirmation. We do another one where you're not confirming the appointment, you're selling it and trying to get them to set it, but they're both pretty similar.
Hey, how's it going, Matt? This is Harry from Coastal Nissan, your client advisor. I'm just reaching out to confirm your appointment for this evening at 5 o'clock to check out this beautiful 2022 Nissan Rogue Sport. I just came outside to inspect the vehicle to ensure there's going to be no surprises for you here. All the vehicle pulled out front, ready to go for you with one more wash down, ready for your appointment at 5 o'clock. If you're going to be a little bit early or a little late, that's not a problem at all, but just give me a heads up. That way I'm ready to work for you right when you arrive. And Matt, it's not my job to sell you this car, but it is my job to ensure that you have an exceptional experience at Coastal Nissan. If you have any special requests, let me know, because I prepared this folder just for you. So I'm going to jot down any requests you have whatsoever. If you want me to prepare a hot cup of coffee for you, maybe have finance numbers ready to save time for your visit, I'm here for you. I've even had customers ask me to put a bow on the car for them. So if you have any questions in the meantime, give me a call at 781-358-8082. But other than that, just reaching out to confirm your appointment, and I look forward to seeing you later on this afternoon at 5.
So the reason that's so important is because he doesn't do a walk around of the car, he just memorized that stupid script. He could spit that out in his sleep. And now when he gets a new lead, all he does is write the name on the folder, go out there, say the script he's memorized, and it really all stitches together great for the prospect that gets emailed that video as a reason to buy from him. All right, so this is the most important one. This is the one I think would be a difference maker for you guys. I'm going to skip this slide. The 45-second testimonial. So on every car you sell, you should be making this video and getting it to me, because I'll make sure everyone else thinking about buying that exact product sees it. So all you do is you go outside, stand in front of the car by 5-10 paces, and say, what do you like the most about your new Pathfinder? And they'll say, the back seat, I love the color. Great. And how did I do? Oh, you did great. Really nice guy. Awesome. And if someone else was in the market for a Pathfinder, who would you tell them to come see? And just like that, in that simple 20 seconds or whatever, you've made a vehicle-specific testimonial that'll serve to everyone looking at that vehicle, that talks about one thing they like about the vehicle, reinforces that you as a salesperson did a great job, and gives a testimonial to buy that product from this dealer. So the most simple advertising you can do. I won't take this and blast it. I'm literally going to sit back and serve this only to people who want to buy a Pathfinder, if that's what the vehicle was. So those look and sound something like this. And it's criminal that every dealership isn't focused on this, because it is so easy. It gets your salespeople used to having the phone in their hand. It gets your customers to tell your story when you go advertise, and it's model specific. So it's not just a generic ad. It'll only go to people that are actually thinking about buying that product in the next week or two.
All right, we're live at Coastal Nissan. I have Steven here taking delivery of his all-new 2022 Nissan Titan Pro 4X. Steven, what's your favorite feature in the new Titan?
I love the engine in it. 400 horsepower.
Awesome. And how did we do?
Oh, excellent. Excellent dealership. Great experience.
Appreciate that. And if you know anyone in the market for a new or used Nissan, where are you going to send them?
Oh, right here at the Coastal.
Appreciate that. Congrats on your new truck.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could actually see a handful of them do that.
Does that seem like out of your wheelhouse, something you could get your guys to do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we could do it. It's a lot better than just a static picture we're taking right now, which is good, and putting on Facebook, but that has some traction to it.
Yeah, right. Well, and not only that, but like, if I don't care about the person and I don't care about the product, then I don't care about the video. So at least one of those boxes is checked. I won't show that ad unless somebody actually wants a Silverado. You know what I mean? So to them, it's kind of relevant, because like hearing where to buy a Silverado makes sense if you're in the market that week, for one. But moreover, sales guys have all made testimonials before, and then they go sit on Facebook or YouTube and get 3 views, and it just feels bad to be part of something that didn't work. These ads will get used, and it makes people feel good when they see hundreds of impressions. And when you get your report from us at the end of the month, every staff member who's given us content gets their own page in our report that you can show during a sales meeting. So it'll actually say, here's how many videos, here's how many impressions, here's how many clicks, here's how many appointments. And this way they have their own scoreboard for how making this content is feeding their paycheck. Okay, so if you don't have the confidence that your staff will do this, it doesn't even matter. I think it's a bonus. I think it's criminal if people allow their staff to not engage in stuff like this, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people barely are running their own role within the dealership, let alone telling other people effectively what to do. So if you don't have your own custom content, there's a few things in place that will make it such that you don't have to worry about that. So the first one is we run this entire series of dynamic vehicle ads because we built our own inventory tool. So we're scraping your website. We're pulling in all this information about these vehicles. So everything from the one you see on the left, which is typical of most agencies, but then we go on, we have flash sales. So morning, afternoon, night, where it'll show up and say, oh my God, you caught our evening flash sale. And all the vehicles in that flash sale will be the ones that they're interested in. They'll be specific to them. And it'll say, act now to get $200 off or to get a free gas card, or act now for a VIP appointment. So you're going to offer them something to convert during that flash sale ad. You also have these price drop alerts. So anytime you drop the price of a car, it'll trigger an ad. So you can see this one. Remember this 2019 Honda Civic with only 24,000 miles? We just dropped the price by $350, right? So your managers won't have to interact with this at all. All they got to do is change the price of a car on the website, and it'll trigger an ad to everyone who saw that vehicle already that the price has been dropped. So again, our goal here is to be constantly relevant and conversational. So the experience of interacting with our ads is basically supposed to be like, you guys are familiar with a chat bot. It's basically an ad bot where the ad you get next is based on the ad you got last and how you interacted with it. And then lastly, we have these age dynamic ads. So these allow us to do new arrival ads, which is what we've been running for the last year. This vehicle just got in stock. Be the first to take a look. So I'll tell you a little story. I'm a big Volkswagen guy, as you know, Ryan. I got, Golf Rs. If I see a Golf R in an ad, I'm going to click on it. That Roy Robinson dealer used to be 45 minutes up the road. I'd never see their ads. They were a Subaru dealer. One day they got a Golf R in trade, and the next day, it had only been in stock one day, Facebook found me and said, new arrival, we just got this Golf R in trade, be the first to make an offer. So that's what I was talking about before. It knew I liked Golf Rs. It knew they had a Golf R, and it just put us together. And that's something you can't do by using the targeting. You have to put the right product information in and just let Facebook do it for you.
Or do we syndicate our inventory to you, or how do you guys pull the inventory feed?
So I actually just steal whatever's on your website. So anything you put on your website, I have a crawler that'll go through the website, steal the price, and steal all your pictures. All of our listings have more than one picture. They can scroll through the pictures. So I basically take all the information you'd see on a VDP page and pull that in on my own. You don't got to do anything, and it updates several times a day.
Do you have are you populating the content on based off the VIN, or is it just what we write down in the description?
Yeah, if you put up a 2002 Tahoe and call it a jet ski, I'm going to call it a jet ski.
Yeah.
So no, it's not very smart in that way. It just takes anything that you've allowed to be on the website, or if you misprice a car and say it's 180,000, I'm going to say it's 180,000. So we're literally just digesting exactly what you show on your website as the updated catalog a few times a day.
What say if we're currently doing Auto Trader and just doing a handful of things on the website, SEO, SEM stuff, what do we take away from what we're doing to budget this, or do we what do you recommend?
SEM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're paying $3 to get somebody on the website and it's not even to sell them a car, we just looked up Lundy's Volkswagen because they're trying to take something from their website for a presentation. They're buying their own name. So if I Google Lundy's Volkswagen, why the hell would you pay $350 to have me end up at Lundy's Volkswagen? You know what I mean? It's the biggest bleed there is. And it's just a paradigm that doesn't make sense. You're not paying to sell the car. You're just paying to be the first place they go to look at the car. They're going to look at all the local places anyways. You know what I mean? It's not like by getting there first, you've stopped their search in any way. So for most of our dealers, when we've done ad budgets with them, I just ask them to be honest, lay out every dollar you're currently spending, and tell me, what do you expect to get when you give somebody that dollar? Is it a lead? Is it a click? Is it a VDP? You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, there's a way to get that for less and 2 free things with it if you spend that dollar on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok the right way with inventory. It doesn't work if the inventory is not attached. So Google is probably your biggest culprit for waste. But reality is, if you're doing any TV, any broadcast, anything that you can't track and see, anything you can't run A/B testing on, almost all of that, you're going to find better return, better opportunity for return, better data about what to do differently next time, which is something no one talks about. I can run an ad and then change the copy and run that same ad during those same market conditions and honestly get a test about which one worked better. You know what I mean?
Do you have to be admin on our Facebook site, or do you have enough? You're just creating the ads and serving them up, or do you have to be part of our admin on our site?
I don't have to be admin. Out of laziness, most of our clients make me the admin just so that they can just email me whenever they want something done and don't have to do anything themselves. But I only need advertiser access. So once you guys sign up, then you'll get a notification that I've requested advertiser access, and all that does is give me the chance to advertise under your brand on your behalf. But I can't modify the page at all.
And that's very straightforward. Somewhere along the way, the last couple of years, whether it be Dealer Inspire or somebody, I can't get a good contact at Facebook because I own the page, I created, and somehow it took the admin access away from me where I can authorize. That's something you could help with?
Yeah, we get into that a lot. Dave, our general manager here, has been known to track down people's stepsister on vacation to try to figure out who the admin is. That comes up a lot. Worst case scenario, we just create a cloned ad account that looks, feels, and sounds identical to your brand. And since people don't go to your Facebook page, if they convert, they go to your website, it doesn't really hurt us at all if we have to clone it. The only thing you'd miss is like whatever reviews you had on your page now, but inconsequential. So we try to get access to their existing one. If they're locked out and we're locked out, we just build an identical looking one and roll that.
Okay.
But we do have some friends at Facebook. So if you couldn't get in, we'd probably start the process of getting control of your account back in your hands. And until that's done, we would just advertise on a clone account.
Okay.
Okay, so the other option is using a spokesperson. I won't waste your time there. You can imagine how this works. If you've got a new arrival, you just talk to me. I got a whole green screen studio right over my shoulder. I can be standing in your showroom with about 20 minutes of work for me, right? So I can do calls to action like don't wait, save the weekend. In fact, we already have a whole series canned for that. All you got to do is walk out on your showroom floor and take me a couple of videos of people milling around in the background. You know what I mean? And just like that, before you know it, I'll be standing in your showroom floor. And when you guys want a video made, you can literally just send me an email. I'm headed to the studio as soon as we get done with this demo to drop 2-3 sound bites. Robert will have them made into videos. The customers will approve them in the morning. They'll be running as ads by tomorrow night. So, we're not talking about fully realized walkarounds like before. It'll literally just be me standing there trying to kill the script that we write together, right? Because that's the type of content that works well on Facebook. Very little editing, looking like it was shot on a cell phone, So those are the types of content that you can call on me to help you create anytime, or call on me to produce with you, and then you just step out on your own showroom floor with a cell phone and make the ad, send it to me on Messenger, and we're off and running. Whatever way is easier for you.
All right.
So, and again, I've got a whole syllabus of ads. I could put in front of you 8 or 9 call to action ads, and you'd be like, oh, those 2 are dumb. The other 7 are gold. Let's go. So you don't really got to think outside the box. You just got to tell me what your problems are specifically. I'll feed you very specific solutions, and then we just have to decide if you're making the content or I am.
What dealer was so happy with your numbers you posted on Facebook a week or so ago? Was that Coastal Nissan, or was that somebody else?
No, they're our homies. They would have never canceled. Who was it? Sutliff? Yeah, Volkswagen of Sutliff.
Okay.
It's a Pennsylvania dealer.
All right.
But we don't know them that well. We got involved with Shift, and now Shift signs up these dealers for us because we're OEM approved for Volkswagen. And so a lot of these guys I've never even met. They've never even had a demo.
And I'm sorry, you must misunderstood. There was a dealer that was happy. You thought he was calling to cancel you, but he was happy.
That's why we contacted you.
Yeah.
That one post, you said,
yeah, that was about Sutliff.
Yeah, that was Sutliff. Yeah, he was. Well, what made it funny is he wasn't happy. He was pleased. He's a curmudgeon of a guy.
Okay.
I don't think that guy smiled in 20 years. He had to regretfully inform us that we weren't fired.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Which we told him, I go, man, people like you make the best testimonials because I can tell you don't want to say what you're saying. But again, his surprise was because he had never met us and he had never gotten a demo. He just signed up for some program through Shift and he thought, okay, let me just turn this off. And then when he looked, he's like, why is this working so good? So he had never seen the videos. He didn't know what we were doing. He had never met me, so that was why the surprise.
What kind of money are we talking, Andrew?
So we're only $2,000, and that's for everything. That's the videos, the training, the 20 videos a month, the running of the whole ad platform, scraping your website, any favors you ask for. And then the rub is I don't touch your ad spend. So I don't, I put your card in or I put my card in and bill you for it, but I don't mark it up or anything. So we have some dealers who literally pay us the $2,000 a month retainer and only run $750 a month worth of ads. In fact, I have 2 dealers who pay the retainer and don't run ads at all. They just want us training. They just want us to train their staff to make videos. And I told them I don't do that. But if you sign up for the agency, I'll train your staff like I normally do, and you just won't run ads.
Is that $2,000 co-opable? Do you know? With GM?
It is co-opable based on what you spend, I think, with Chevy. So, or maybe outright. I don't know. But
yeah, there's a portion of it. I think 25%.
Yeah.
But I think it's like 25% of what you. I might be wrong, but for
Volkswagen,
Volkswagen,
it is of what you spend. Yeah.
So if you spend $8,000, then I'm free. But if you spend less, then I'm proportionately less.
Right. So, and based on our current inventory levels, what's your best advice on how much we would spend?
I would start off. I would start off with really only $1,500 or $2,000 in ad spend. And I know that sounds ludicrous. Pay me $2,000 to run 15, but you got to keep in mind the people I talk to are the people who you've already paid to meet. So the first money that you give me is actually not to return your investment in me. It's to return all the other investments you've made, identifying who's in the market this month, right? So we'll go chase, it only probably costs $800. And think about this. Every website, every person on your website now, it probably only costs $800 to hit each of them with 4 impressions. It's so cheap. It's like a no-brainer. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that you're giving a fully realized follow-up to every website visitor you currently have. That's stage 1. Then we'll go out and start spending money to meet new eyeballs. And every week, 2 weeks, month, 6 weeks, whatever you want, we'll come back and look at what we're getting and can compare that to what you've been spending on other things. And I try to slowly cannibalize your outgoing ad budget. But the most important thing is that you get started on fully remarketing everybody who you've already paid to meet.
Right. Mm-hmm. You said early on the leads can go directly to the CRM.
Yep. And so an added benefit of that is when they show up in the CRM, they'll be VIN specific. And I'll be able to tell you which ad created that lead.
Yeah.
So if you're getting ready to respond to that lead, it might do you well to know that they responded to a flash sale offer for a free set of hockey tickets, or they responded to don't wait till the weekend, let's get it done today, or they responded to a VIP appointment. That way you'll know how to inform your response a little better. So that's a cool trick too.
Yeah. All right. That's all I need to know.
Cool. I don't think I have a whole lot left. Yeah, look, you're on the last slide. Also, if you guys are at all, doubtful of what I've said, on our website, I've got dozens of case studies, dozens. You can see the real client reports that we send out at the end of the month. You can see testimonials, video testimonials on everything. So, you might not like what I've said, but just don't doubt that anything I said was untrue because, I wouldn't say it if I couldn't back it up.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Appreciate your time, brother.
We'll be in touch, Andrew.
Cool. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, the dog's pissing on your couch.
I'm telling you, I'm going right to him with it.
Thanks, brother.
All right, see you.
All right.